For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And boy, today was one of those spring days, wasn't it? When the sun was out and there weren't that many clouds. It was nice out there, but when it was cloudy and a little bit of a breeze, it felt kind of cool. And we are seeing some clouds beginning to roll in now as we take a look at the Lake Chelan area from our Union Valley Sky Tower camera. It's up there right now. You can see the cloudiness, and that's just the beginning of, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but a very wet weekend ahead. Let's take a look. And Saturday we will see some shower activity on Saturday, also shower activity as we move into Sunday. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on in our weather forecast. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Area residents will have the opportunity to meet an 8th District Democratic congressional candidate this weekend, and Grant County recorded its lowest annual average unemployment rate since electronic records were implemented by the State Employment Security Department in 1990. But first, we begin tonight in breaking news. The Port of Chelan County has made their decision on a new deputy director, and it's a familiar name. Current Port of Chelan County Executive Director Pat Jones tells us a bit about how the process worked and who the new deputy director is.
Through the interview process last week, public interviews as well as executive session interviews. And yesterday at the commission meeting, they asked me to extend an offer of employment to Jim Kuntz, K-U-N-T-Z, a name you will recognize. And we are hoping that we can agree to terms with Jim and he'll start working here as the deputy in May.
James Kuntz of Walla Walla was the first candidate to be interviewed. Other candidates included Todd Coleman, Captain Jeff McIrvin, and current Wenatchee Executive Services Director Allison Williams. Kuntz is a Wenatchee native who previously served as the Executive Director of the Walla Walla Port District and currently serves as the Executive Director of the Washington Association of Sewer and Water Districts. Kuntz will take over the Executive Director position from Pat Jones at the end of this year. Douglas County Commissioners this week appointed former Deputy Prosecutor Eric Bigger to replace District Court Judge Judith McCauley. McCauley announced her retirement in February, and Bigger had already filed candidacy papers with the state prior to his being appointed. Bigger graduated from Gonzaga Law School in 1987 and served as Douglas County Deputy Prosecutor from 1991 to 2014. Bigger says his experience in both District and Superior Court gives him the overall knowledge to sit as District Court Judge. The 56-year-old Bigger is scheduled to start May 1st. Commissioners selected Bigger over two other candidates, attorneys Brian Moore and Robert Hunter. Area residents will have the opportunity to meet an 8th District Democratic congressional candidate this weekend. Sammamish pediatrician Kim Schreier will make appearances Sunday in Leavenworth and Wenatchee. The 49-year-old Schreier is running for the 8th District House seat being vacated by Representative Dave Reichert. Schreier will meet the public in Leavenworth at O'Grady's Pantry at Sleeping Lady Mountain Resort. That's located at 7375 Icicle Road from 11 a.m. to noon on Sunday. After that, she plans a public listening session at the Teamsters Local 760 Hall. That's located at 1737 North Wenatchee Avenue in Wenatchee. Times for that will be from 3 to 4:30. Schreier is among 5 other Democratic candidates vying for the 8th District congressional seat. Representative Dan Newhouse spoke on the House floor yesterday in support of a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Representative Newhouse is a co-sponsor, and the legislation was not approved by the House, falling short of the required 2/3 majority. In his House floor speech, Newhouse said, in order for Congress, who consistently make the tough decisions necessary to control spending, elected representatives need the external pressure of a balanced budget requirement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the good gentleman from Virginia for yielding me some time today. I rise in strong support of the balanced budget amendment offered by my friend and colleague, Congressman Goodwill. Reining in the federal debt is not a partisan issue. In fact, the majority of Americans are united in consistently supporting a requirement to balance the federal budget. Our national debt has surpassed a record $22 trillion. You've heard that several times today. That's more than $64,000 for every man, woman, and child in this country. It's more than $174,000 of debt for every U.S. taxpayer. If we continue to let this number grow, we will continue to dig a deeper hole for our children and our grandchildren. Since I came to Congress in 2015, I've worked to ensure the government does not spend above its means. I've co-sponsored several resolutions in support of an amendment to the U.S. Constitution to balance the budget, and I'm proud to be an original co-sponsor of this legislation that we consider today. In the 114th Congress, my colleagues and I offered an amendment to the Debt Management and Fiscal Responsibility Act requiring the Secretary of the Treasury to appear before Congress and submit a report with solutions to control the national debt before raising the debt ceiling. I have also consistently voiced my strong concerns with fiscally irresponsible spending packages, as I did earlier this year with the deal to bust our budget caps and send our nation further into debt. Mr. Speaker, we are on a high-speed train heading towards a very large fiscal cliff, and soon it may be too late to slow this train down. This insurmountable debt threatens our nation's economic and national security, as well as future generations. The people of this country and of Washington State's 4th Congressional District demand better and expect their representatives to promote fiscal responsibility. Over 20 years ago, when the federal deficit was at $5 trillion, a balanced budget amendment failed by a single vote in the U.S. Senate. It's time to put a stop to the federal government's out-of-control spending and use our authority in Congress to prioritize spending. This balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution is a great step in the right direction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And
The bill would mandate that Congress not spend more money than it receives in revenue. This amendment would also require a true majority in both the House and Senate to pass a tax increase, along with a 3/5 supermajority requirement to raise the debt limit. Well, the annual average unemployment rate of 6.3% in 2017 was the lowest annual average rate in Grant County since electronic records were implemented by the State Employment Security Department back in 1990. The rate has been shrinking year over year now for 18 consecutive months since September 2016. The other good news in the latest report is that Grant County unemployment rate is 0.4% between the Februaries went down, between the Februaries of 2017 and 2018. The downside of all this is that total non-farm job growth rates locally have lagged behind statewide job growth rates for the past 3 years. Non-farm jobs in Grant County saw an annual increase of 0.9% compared to a 2.5% statewide growth. Coming up next, construction on Red Apple Road will begin next Monday, April 16th. And starting next fall, Central Washington University becomes the first higher education institution in Washington to offer a computer science teaching endorsement. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
It turns out, some people are more likely to do well at charter college and succeed in a new career. So, what's this charter type? Charter types are go-getters. Charter types follow through. Charter types love a challenge. If you're a hard worker looking for a fast path to a better career, you're just our type. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
My story starts out with, I was addicted to meth for over 25 years, and I decided that's it. that I was no longer ever going to touch the drug ever again. Goodwill was the first place that I came to. The skills that are given to me, I will be able to succeed every day that I'm there. So that gave me the confidence that I can do this job. When you donate to Goodwill, you're helping people just like me. I love my work. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Welcome back. In another news, aircraft rescue firefighting personnel from Pangbourne Memorial Airport and Douglas County Fire District No. 2 will be conducting live fire training on the airport starting today and extending into next week. A mobile training prop will be used to simulate the types of fires that emergency crews might encounter in an aircraft crash. All training activities will be inside the airport perimeter fence on the east side of the airport, but fire apparatus and flames may be visible to area residents and passersby during the training activities. The Community Foundation of North Central Washington has awarded over $61,000 in grants from its Methow Valley Fund to support 25 nonprofits serving the Methow Valley. The Methow Valley Fund was established in 2006 to assist nonprofit and public organizations in developing programs that continue to build a vibrant community. Among the projects receiving funding are the Methow Arts Alliance for Free Arts Education Programs and the TWISP Works Foundation. The Methow Valley Fund grant is a competitive grant offered annually. The grant is made possible by an anonymous donor and contributions to the Methow Valley Fund. The Methow Valley Fund grant opens December 1st and is due January 31st. For more information, visit www.cnfcw.org/Methow Valley Fund. Construction on Red Apple Road will begin next Monday, April 16th. The City of Wenatchee will be constructing new curbs, sidewalks, a water main, lighting, and pavement improvements on Red Apple Road between Miller Street and Okanagan Avenue. A mini roundabout will also be constructed at the intersection of Red Apple Road and Miller Street. This project will also upgrade pedestrian and bicycle facilities along a route that serves Central Washington Hospital, Lincoln Elementary, and Wenatchee High School. Red Apple Road will be closed from Miller Street to Okanagan Avenue. Detours will be in place around the project as well as to the emergency department at the hospital. Well, starting next fall, Central Washington University becomes the first higher education institution in Washington to offer a computer science teaching endorsement in more than 20 years. As part of its new science, technology, engineering, and math teaching program, the endorsement allows undergraduates to earn both their bachelor's degree in computer science and teaching certification at the same time. It opens expanded career choices to them, even beyond classroom teaching.
There are people who are in industry who are trainers. So learning how to plan and deliver a presentation and assess if you were successful and if your audience actually learned or understood what you did could actually be useful to someone who is a developer in customer support or even sales.
That's Central Washington University professor Ian Lavero from the Department of Curriculum, Supervision, and Educational Leadership, who also says the goal of the program is to help quickly fill the need for more highly trained computer science teachers.
For the last 20 years, we've been hearing from industry that they want high school graduates to be more tech savvy. And one of the ways to do that is to have teachers who are tech savvy. But unless you have a teacher who's actually trained both in the computer science and pedagogy, the art and science of teaching, it's difficult to fill that gap.
Lavero also says the new program will also offer more computer science education options in state classrooms. NCW Life Channel notes the passing of a local Wenatchee Valley legend. Emily Joan Shelton Mason died last Saturday at the age of 96. Mason was a prominent member of the area's theatrical community and became nationally known for her work. Mason founded the Wenatchee Civic Ballet in 1951 and helped produce several performances, including The Nutcracker. A public celebration of her life will be held at the New America Performing Arts Center on Sunday, April 22nd from 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Jay Seebeck today and our feature story tonight. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CVCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CVCH respects that.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on fresh. Here's the deal. If it comes from a freezer, not fresh. Box, not fresh. Bag, not fresh. Fresh means just chopped vegetables. Cheese grated by us daily. Fresh means we don't even have ovens, 'cause you have an oven. So you can feel good about feeding it to your home bake an XL NY pizza, topped with giant pepperoni and ground sausage on an extra large foldable New York style crust. Just $8.99. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Jay Seebeck for your evening sports news on the NCW Life channel. First, a quick reminder, we have live high school soccer tonight at 7 p.m. here on the NCW Life channel. It's #1 ranked Eastmont taking on the Moses Lake at Wildcat Stadium. Tonight is game 1 of the Fred Page Memorial Cup. Head down to the Town Toyota Center to see the Wenatchee Wild host the Prince George Spruce Kings. Puck drops at 7:05. The Wild and the Kings have already played twice this season, with each team winning a game on their home ice. During the first meeting on Veterans Day, over 3,000 fans attended at the Town Toyota Center, where the Wild won that game 3-2.
By Morton on the right wing boards. He sends it down low. Weatherby shot! Score! And then back to Ahak once again. Work down the left wing boards. Golambus with some pressure on him, but it's going to come back to the left point. Ahak shot. It's threaded through over in the back door. Shot and a score. As Prince George ties it up on the power play. Finishing it off was Ben Poisson as it just caromed off to the left side of Park. Eventually scored in the last moment. Shot and a score there. Kazi, after the face-off win, just ripped it right through a screen, and Park just didn't quite see it, I guess. Back across, Iannone in, shot, pad save, spongy rebound, guided back from Wozniak to Modry. Shot, score! Sam Morton may have redirected that as Modry took the shot from the left point. Even strength goal for the Wild. He's on the backhand down the left side, stops, hits the brakes, sharply up top for Vanderbeck. Vanderbeck shot through traffic and he scores! Weatherby may have redirected that. The shot from the left point. Vanderbeck's going to lead the parade. But the Wild strike quickly. 2 goals here in this second period, and they now lead it 3-2. Wild gets some fresh legs out on the ice. Tipped into the zone. Modry's there. Modry backhands it off the wall. Not enough to clear. Vanderbeck does get it out to center. Mans picks it up, sends it over on the right side. 6 seconds left. Forced wide to the end boards. Tied up back behind the net. There's Weatherby. He'll feather it up the near wall, and that brings us to the horn as the Wenatchee Wild pick up the win. And they snap the Prince George win streak at 3. The Wild pick up the victory here tonight.
Well, then later in the season, the Wild ended up losing to Prince George at Rolling Mix Concrete Arena, 4-3. After tonight's matchup, Game 2 is tomorrow night at the Town Toyota Center, again at 7:05. Let's take a look at the sports schedule for the NCW Life channel over the weekend. It starts tonight at 7 p.m. when we go live from Wildcat Stadium to see Eastmont take on Moses Lake. Eastmont is in good shape heading into tonight's matchup, as they sit atop the Big Nine with 6 wins and 0 losses in league play. They look to continue that streak against the Moses Lake Chiefs, as the Chiefs have yet to catch a break this season. They sit at 0-7 on the season. Tomorrow afternoon, we have live lacrosse coming up. Wenatchee boys will be taking on North Central at the Apple Bowl. That game gets started at 2 p.m. Then later in the night, it's a replay of the Wild hockey game it's Game 5 of the Wild's playoff series against Trail from April 6th, as seen at the Town Toyota Center. Sunday at noon, catch a replay of Wenatchee High School's soccer match against Pasco from April 4th. Speaking of Wenatchee soccer, the boys are heading down to Yakima tonight. After falling to Sunnyside on Tuesday night, they hope to bounce back against West Valley. Currently, Wenatchee is one game ahead of West Valley, but this is a must-win game in order to hold on to their third-place spot. Moving into baseball, Wenatchee is in the middle of a doubleheader tonight at Eisenhower. After defeating the Cadets on Tuesday at Recreation Park, Wenatchee hopes to extend its unblemished record in Big 9 play as they remain undefeated with a record of 7-0. The Seattle Mariners have their first American League West Series this weekend, where they will host the Oakland Athletics. That game starts tonight at 7:10. The Mariners come into the series at 6-4, and the A's sit at 5-8. Mike Leake will take the hill for the Mariners against Andrew Triggs of the A's. Oakland is coming off a monster performance on Wednesday where they absolutely shelled the Los Angeles Dodgers 16-6, so the Mariners will have their work cut out for them to keep Oakland from heating up the bats. And of course, it's not sports news without a little bit of NFL talk and our favorite Northwest team, the Seahawks. News coming out of Seattle today is they have signed free agent quarterback Stephen Morris. Former University of Miami quarterback Morris was signed in free agency in 2014 by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Morris has yet to see a regular season snap in the NFL, but has had a couple of promising preseason performances during his tenure with the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, this is all coming just a day after Seattle put themselves in the hot seat when they elected to postpone a scheduled workout with former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick. As some of you may know, Kaepernick is the guy that started the phenomena of kneeling during the national anthem, sparking a nationwide movement protesting social injustices. The Seahawks have elected to postpone the workout with Kaepernick when he couldn't answer definitively what his plans were for his protests and the ongoing lawsuit against the NFL. Seeing as how the Seattle Seahawks are known nationwide as being one of the most, and if not the most, progressive franchises in the NFL, there's little reason to assume that there was any foul play involved there. Even with the addition of Stephen Morris, the Seattle Seahawks still have a huge deficit when it comes to backup quarterbacks. Most teams operate with 4 quarterbacks during the offseason and preseason, so look for the Seahawks to make a few more additions with the NFL draft coming up next weekend. And once more, don't forget to tune in tonight for live high school soccer at 7 p.m. With your evening sports news on this Friday the 13th, I'm Jay Seebeck. Good night, everybody, and back to you, Grant.
Thank you, Jay. With plenty on tap for this weekend in North Central Washington, here's NCW Life's Megan McPherson with the weekend events wrap.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The Leavenworth Film Festival takes place Friday, April 13th and Saturday, April 14th at the Leavenworth Fest Hall. This festival showcases the best recent short films with a focus on outdoor pursuits and the natural world. Come see these great films and intermission performances while enjoying your beverage of choice. Grab your tickets at leavenworthfilmfestival.org. The 19th annual North Central Washington Prospectors Gold Treasure and More Show is happening Saturday, April 14th to Sunday, April 15th at the Chelan County Expo Center in Cashmere. There will be gold and silver jewelry, dredge equipment, door prizes, metal detectors, rockhound and prospecting supplies, gems and minerals, lessons on how to pan for gold, gold pay dirt, raffle prizes, sluice boxes, rocks, and a coin dealer. There will also be a haystack hunt for kids and a metal detecting hunt. Admission is $5 with kids 12 and under free, and food concessions will be available. The public is invited to the 3rd annual Spring Opener Show and Shine Car and Cycle Show at Hot Rods Espresso at the Airstream Trailer in the west parking lot of Pybus Market this Saturday. You'll enjoy a wide range of new and vintage cars, motorcycles, and muscle cars. The show starts at 10 a.m. and awards will be announced at 3 p.m. Hot Rods Espresso will have a full selection of food for purchase for breakfast and lunch. This free event is family friendly and there will be drawings every hour. Also this Saturday is the 2018 MS Walk at Walla Walla Point Park. Team up with friends, loved ones, and co-workers to change the world for everyone affected by MS. The ceremony starts at noon with the walk kicking off at 1 p.m. And finally, the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra presents Pop's American Masters. American Masters will highlight some of the masterworks by American composers. It's happening at the Numerica Performing Arts Center this Saturday at 7. For more information on this weekend's events, visit ncwlife.com.
Thank you, Megan, and we'll be back with the recap of some of our top stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.
How about having majestic mountains, a beautiful shoreline, and 26 acres of lush walking trails be the backdrop of your special event? Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp has cabins, meeting spaces, and a lodge with a kitchen that will accommodate large gatherings. Our staff at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp will work with you to ensure that your wedding, retreat, class reunion, or birthday is amazing. Reserve your day today.
Time now for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Let's quickly go to take a look outside our weather window. Boy, those clouds are darkening up now. Our Union Valley camera up in the Lake Chelan area, and that's just ahead of what should be a very wet weekend ahead. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Our weather pattern remains active as one area of low pressure slides through the state today and then is replaced by another stronger system on Saturday. At our looping surface map, and what we're seeing is a warm front moved into western Washington this morning and crossed the Cascades around noon. Next up, an upper level low pressure system circulating out in the Gulf of Alaska. You can see at the top of the screen will slide down, resulting in higher precipitation amounts for both Saturday and Sunday. We have about a 30% chance of rain today. We've seen some sprinkles, and tonight a 40% chance on Saturday and a 70% chance of rain on Sunday. The Cascade crest is expected to pick up between 1.25 inches and 1.5 inches over the next 24 to 48 hours. It'll take most of Sunday night and into Monday for the wet frontal weather band to migrate across the forecast area. Let's take a look at your forecast now. 43 degrees will be our overnight low tonight. 60 for tomorrow, but it might fool you a little bit because we'll see a 40% chance of rain and mostly cloudy skies. Cloudy and a 70% chance of rain on Sunday and 57 degrees. As we kick off our next work week, 56 our high temperature on Monday, mostly cloudy. We will begin to dry out next week. Mostly sunny, windy on Tuesday and 57 degrees. By Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, light winds and 57. And then it looks like things will get nice by about next Thursday. Mostly sunny skies and warmer, temperatures nearing normal at about 60 degrees. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV set free. Enjoy the extra value LocalTel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.